Hello everyone, once again. In today's video, I'll show you how to create a collision spark effect for your car when it hits a barrier or even another car. And of course, this should be accompanied by a collision sound for greater realism. So, it's going to be an easy and creative video as always. Let's begin. First, we'll start by creating a new Niagara system. But this time, we'll begin from a ready-made template. Choose Fountain. Alright, it should look like this. We'll rotate it to make it fit better with what we're about to do. Let's start tweaking it. We need to adjust its shape or size, so from here, choose this option and set a range close to what I used to create shapes with different sizes and rectangular forms. It should now look like this. To fix its orientation, go to Sprite Renderer and change the alignment and facing mode settings. Yes, it looks much better now. Now, let's add color and set it to 250 G20 to give it a red spark color. And here's the result. Pretty good, right? Next, we don't want the sparks to go upward. We want them to move along the X direction. So, we'll change that here. And set the gravity force to a small value like 150. Then, in Shape Location, we'll adjust a few options to modify how the sparks move. Yes, now it looks good, but I'll add a slight tweak here. Next, we want the sparks to appear and disappear quickly. To do that, we'll first increase their speed here, then reduce the lifetime to 0.1 to 0.5. Nice, but I'll increase the spawn rate a bit. We want this effect to trigger only once when it appears, so set it to once. That's important. Finally, there's a small issue. The effect takes time to appear in the world, about 2 seconds, which is too long since we want it to be instant. To fix that, we'll make the effect start immediately at 0.2 seconds by changing a setting called warm-up time. You can see the difference now, right? You can adjust it until you find the perfect value, but I'll leave it at 2. Now that we're done here, it's time for the real part, making the effect appear on the car, just like I showed you at the start of the video. To do this, we need to set up something important as the car's physics asset. Enable Generate Hit Events. This is very important. I don't want the spark effect to trigger on the wheels, so I'll leave it disabled there. After that, we'll call Hit Event and use Spawn System at Location. The spawn location should be the hit location, and we'll insert the effect we created. Let's test it and see what happens. The effect appears, but its direction is wrong. Let's fix that. Simply, the effect should always follow the car's direction, so we'll use getActorForwardVector and multiply it by -1. Yes, it worked. However, there's still an issue. Sparks appear even when we hit the barrier from the front or back, but logically, sparks should appear only when the sides collide. To fix this, we'll first get the car's right vector, then use a dot product between the hit normal and the car's right vector to determine the hit direction. I've done several tests before, so I know the best range for triggering sparks. Above 0.6 for the right side, and below -0.6 for the left side. We can make it a variable, so we can adjust it later. I know I'm bad at naming variables, so let's just skip that part. Anyway, let's move on. Next, we'll use an Boolean, and don't forget to multiply the left side value by -1. Let's tidy things up a bit. Okay, let's test it. As you can see, when we hit the barrier from the front or back, nothing happens. But if I tilt the car slightly to the side, the sparks appear. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Now, I'll add a final touch. We don't want the sparks to appear when the car is moving slowly. We'll use that same speed function we've discussed many times before and make a simple speed check. We can convert it into a variable to tweak it later if needed. Now that we're done with all that, it's time for the hardest part, playing the collision sound at the exact moment of impact. I've already downloaded a sound that fits perfectly for what we need. It took a lot of editing, but as always, I'll leave it for free in this description. Just make sure to support me by subscribing and commenting. It really helps me a lot. Back to our topic. We'll use spawn sound at location, put in the sound, the location, and also a sound attenuation setting, which we'll need later when we make the AI car in the next video. Before that, we need the sound to play only once per collision, so we'll use do once and make it a variable. Now, here's the problem. Hit event tells us when a collision starts, but not when it ends. And we need that to stop and reset the sound. To solve this, I'll create a variable called hitTimer and then a custom event. It'll simply go from 0 to 1 whenever a collision is not happening, using f_interp to constant. Each time a collision occurs, we'll reset it to 0. Then, we'll create another custom event to stop the sound and reset everything. We'll check the sound exists. If yes, we stop it, then reset the do once node. If not, we just reset do once directly. Easy. Back here, we'll check if hitTimer equals 1. If yes, we'll call reset sparks sound. We'll do the same condition for speed this time. Finally, we'll connect everything to a vent tick. Let's check if everything works. It does. As an extra touch, whenever a collision happens, we'll lower the engine sound, and once it ends, we'll restore it. This gives a much better feeling, trust me. We've done something similar before, so just follow along with what I'm doing. It's working well, but there's an issue with the spark sound. It seems to fade. I think I know the reason. We simply need to make the sound loop from here. That's important. And finally, we need to update the sound's location so it moves to the new collision spot each time. We'll make a simple check for that, and then use set world location for the sound. Let's test one last time. Yes, the sound works perfectly, and so do the sparks. As always, we create quality and creativity on this channel. The next video will be extremely important because I'll teach you how to make an AI car, but a smart one, not just a car that moves around. Trust me, you won't find anyone explaining it like I will, not even in paid tutorials. Yes, I was actually planning to make this part paid, but I decided to share it with everyone for free. So I hope you'll support the channel by subscribing and liking the video. Thank you.